In this video, we'll be learning all about fractions and how to use them in different questions. So first, we need to understand what a fraction actually is. So a fraction means to be out of something, and fractions therefore range between 0 and 1. The way we present fractions is by having a numerator, so a number, over another number, like so. Fractions read as follows: 1 divided by 2. The line reads to be divide by. And fractions are really important in helping us understand values between 0 and 1. So there are two main things that we need to be able to do with fractions: turn values into fractions and turn fractions into values. We also need to know how to manipulate fractions, which is everything to do with adding, multiplying, dividing, and subtracting them, which will come in their own group of videos. So stay tuned for that. So what we'll be doing is we'll be working through some S2S examples to check our understanding and make sure that we understand how to manipulate fractions. So the first thing that we need to know how to do is we need to know how to turn values into fractions. So this is where information is given to us, not in fractional form, and we have to put that into a fractional form. So the first question says, Jane got 48% in her maths test. The test was out of 50. What was Jane's score? So therefore, what we need to do is we need to find out what 48% of 50 is. This is the first step in allowing us to calculate her score in fractional form. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate 48% of 50. And if you're unsure about percentages, please do check out our percentage video that we have on the channel. So 48 multiplied by 50 will give us our answer. So remember, just as a little reminder, if we are multiplying a percentage of 48% out of 50, we've put the 50 as the numerator because 50 as fractional form is the same as us putting 50 over 1. So 48 multiplied by 50 gets us 2,400. Quick way to do that in your head, do 48 multiplied by 5 and then add a 0 on the end. And this is going to be all over 100 multiplied by 1, which is 100. We can simplify our fraction as follows, which gets us the value 24 over 1. Even though this is a fraction, it is not our answer. Remember, what we've been doing is we've calculated what 48% of 50 is. This represents Jane's score. So Jane's overall score is 24 out of 50. And that is her score in fractional form. Let's move on to the next example. So it says, a survey of 70 people was conducted, and it was discovered that 60% of people had a car. How many people do not have a car? So when we have questions like this, we need to make sure that we read the question properly. We are not calculating how many people had a car, we are calculating how many people do not have a car. So There are two ways by which we can work this out. We can work out 60% and take that away from our 100%, which is everyone, which is 70 people. Or we can work out 40% of 70 people, and that gives us our answer. As 60% plus 40% gives us 100%. So we're going to calculate it by working out 40% of 70. This gives us our direct answer. So that's 40 over 100 multiplied by 70. This gives us 2,800 over 100. Remember, 70 is the same as 70 over 1. Quick way to do 40 multiplied by 70 in your head. 4 multiplied by 7 is 28. We should know our multiplication tables by a click of a finger. And then we add our 2 zeros on the end. So 2800, 2,800. Over 100, as it's going to be 100 multiplied by 1. Because it's over 1, we don't necessarily need to show it, okay? So now what we need to do is we need to simplify our fraction. And we should get 28 over 1. Remember, this means this is the amount of people that do not have a car. So presenting our answer in fractional form, the amount of people that do not have a car will be 28 people that we've surveyed over the total amount of people that we surveyed, which is 70. So 28 out of 70 people do not have a car. And the second thing that we need to know how to do with fractions is to turn fractions into different values. So it says, for a cake mixture, 4/10 of a cup of a flour is needed. What is this value as a decimal number? So we've been presented information as a fraction. And to get to this value, to a decimal number, all we have to do is complete the sum that we have in front of us, 4 divided by 10, okay? So this presents our answer as a decimal number. So how many 10s can go into 4? Our answer is 0. Remember, this is correct because our decimal number is a value between 0 and 1. So we're going to remove over our 4 from our units column to our tenths. So now 4 in our tenths column becomes 40. How many 10s can go into 40? The answer is 4. Therefore, 4/10 as a decimal number is very simply 0.4. And that is our answer. The second example says, Sam got 80 out of 100 in a recent test. What is this value as a percentage? So we have been given our information as a fraction. And what we want to do is we want to turn that fraction into a percentage. Remember, to turn fractions into a percentage, what we need to do is we need to multiply our fraction by 100. Because remember, it says that percentage is out of 100. So this would be 80 over 100 multiplied by 100. And this would give us the value of 8,000 divided by 100. We can simplify this down to 80 over 1. Therefore, his value as a percentage is 80%. So hopefully we can notice something interesting within this question. The fraction is 80 out of 100 and the percentage is 80%. because remember, percentages means out of 100. So 80 out of 100 is very, very simply 80%. So when our fraction has the denominator of 100, the percentage value is simply just the number as the numerator. This is because, as we can see here with our functions, we are dividing by 100 to then multiply by 100. This cancels each other out, okay? There'll be a new video coming up on functions soon, so stay tuned for that. So 80 out of 100 multiplied by 100 gets us 80. So therefore, the value as a percentage is 80%. There are so many more things that we need to be able to understand with fractions, such as multiplying, dividing, and manipulating fractions. But the foundational things that we need to understand is how to turn fractions into different values and different values into fractions. Hopefully, we have a better understanding of how fractions work and what fractions are. For more resources and services, please do check out www.s2sol.co.uk.